tonight, I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself. Most of you kind of know my story. I've been in LifeVantage for 8 years. It was kind of crazy because a complete stranger is who showed this to me, and they had no idea that I was actually looking for something. I'd been very successful in the business I was in, but it was going on almost 40 years being an equine PT and saddle makers. And I was tired, and I also knew I didn't have any retirement. And what I was doing, even though I was making money, I was spending a lot of it, traveling all the time. And I was just tired of being tired. And also, I was not a big people person. I love the animals. And so when I was shown this, I was like, wow, you're going to have to learn people. I knew how horses and dogs and the animals that I'd had before, monkeys and raccoons and things, were pretty simple. You didn't have to have a language with them. And I had a lot to learn. And what I learned was there is a huge amount of people out there that are just wonderful to connect with. And I've learned so much being in LifeVantage about people and about myself. And who I want to introduce tonight is somebody that I have known for a while. We've gotten to be, they've been in the business for, I'll say, 7 years. And they're incredible horsemen, incredible business people. But they have such a passion for horses, and it's far more than just loving them. It's them being tremendous horsemen. They understand the horse, they understand the business, and they do the hard work. And that's why they've been around great horses like Horse of the Year, Holy Bull, that they raised and were able to be around. And they take horses to sale, they take them the right way, which is a harder way to do it. But one of the things that I'm so impressed with them about is what they do with the horses when they're finished racing. They do a lot of work bringing them back, finding them, rehabbing them. Oftentimes they need some health issues that need to be addressed, mental issues to get them into another job. And all of those things take an incredible amount of time and effort. And this couple has really done all of that. So I'm so excited to call them friends and also business partners. So if Bonnie can jump on right now, I would love to hear your story and how this found you.
Very good. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate you having me on. You guys, if you're going to have Kim on, you're going to have to do it before 9 p.m. Eastern time, because she crashes about 8. Just need to be here. It's kind of got the old fires going recently when we had the meeting in Orlando a couple of weeks ago, and Dr. Campbell, Skip Campbell, came down and got me regenerated a little bit. But really, Florida, a lot of y'all don't know, the state of Florida is second in the number of thoroughbred horses raised every year. It has been for a long, long time, and it's a huge business. It's close to a $3 billion a year business in the state of Florida. And as a 6-year-old little boy, my father's horse and his partner together owned a horse named Needles that was who won the Kentucky Derby that year. And like I said, I'm a 6-year-old little boy, and I'm in. I want a piece of this, and I love the animals. I always love the animals. And somebody asked me, well, how'd you get in the horse business? And I said, well, I didn't have any choice. I was diseased at birth. I had to be in the horse business. And I love every minute of, well, most every minute of. The horse business itself has changed a lot over the years, and Debbie can attest to that. But the horse itself, a horse is a horse, like Mr. Ed says. And they're wonderful creatures, and they don't tell you any lies. And I've watched them out in the paddock, and when you introduce say a new mare to a field of 3 or 4 other mares, they sort that new situation out within about 5 to 10 minutes, something like that. And they don't have to call in the government agency, and they don't have to call in HRS and all the other hogwash that we see in our world today. And it's pretty doggone refreshing. It really is. But how LifeVantage found us, Kim and I were at a thoroughbred sale in Saratoga in August of 2012, minding our own business, trying to buy some horses for some people. And Debbie Crowell came up to us and was jabbering on about something. I don't remember what she said, but I wasn't interested and wasn't buying. And basically go away, Debbie. And I know, we had known Debbie at that time, 20, 25 years. And fast forward 8 months, thank goodness she didn't give up, because she came up to us at a 2-year-old sale here in Ocala. And when she's walking across the ring toward us, she looks totally different. And I said, Debbie, what are you doing? And she grins and she says, same damn thing I told you about in Saratoga. And which was true. And so anyway, we had her over for breakfast, and she showed us that ABC primetime video, and we're in. And Kim and I, if you know us, we're not big joiners as a rule, but it just made perfect sense, not only for us but for our animals. And fast forward 3 weeks, our best thoroughbred mare, Miss Pangea, had a stillborn foal and had retained placenta on the morning of the Preakness in 2013. And she had a condition that is probably the most serious conditions in thoroughbreds or any hooved animal. And our vet was open-minded enough, had read about NRF2 activation, thank goodness, because Kim had given him some information. He actually understood it. And we jumped her on this, on all we had back then was NRF2. And the turnaround that we saw in that mare in the next 36 hours was phenomenal. The death look in her eye turned into a will to live within 36 hours. And you can attribute it to what you want to. I know what I saw. And that mare is alive and well today. I just saw her a little while ago, and she's 26 years old. She was 18 when that happened. She's 26 years old now. And she's at the heart of what Kim and I are getting ready to do. And it's been our passion for a long time. I actually started thinking about this as my original why was to start what we call the Miss Pangea Foundation. It's going to be called the Pangea Equine Incorporated. It's going to be a retirement home patterned after old friends up in Kentucky for retired thoroughbreds. We always take our horses back. So that's the benefits we've seen of our products with our animals. And animals don't have placebo effects, as you know. I'll give you a quick example too of how we use it on our younger sales horses. We have a lot of old horses, oldest up to 31 right now. We've got 27, two 27 to 26 and a 31. So give you an idea of what we've got. And but on the younger horses, we sent a colt to September Keeneland many years ago, and actually a son of Miss Pangea, year-old colt, and put him on 1 NRF2 a day. And after the first day of showing, he showed 73 times, which means the groom goes in and puts a shank on them and brushes them off, picks their feet a little bit, and brings them out and walks them up and down for potential buyers. And he was out 73 times that day. So we went out to see him afterwards that afternoon, and he had his head in the corner and his ears were down and his hair coat was going flat. It wasn't shiny anymore. He was wrung out. So we told the consignor to put him on 3 a day, and he sold like gangbusters. He was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed the next day. So fast forward 2 months, we had a weanling who was probably 8.5 months old is all, and took him to the sale also at Keeneland. And we got ahead of the curve with him. We put him on 3 pills a day and ahead of the sale. And he actually showed, and you're talking about a foal or a horse that's never been off a farm. You put him on a trailer or a van, you run him up the road 750 or 800 miles. You put him on a sales grounds where there's 800 or 1,000 screaming mares and babies that are out of their normal environment, and you expect them to be normal and show themselves properly. That's a lot to ask people, a lot. And this colt showed 93 times the first day on the sales ground. I told the consignor, I said, you can't do that. I said, it's impossible. And she laughed. She said, come over here, big boy, and made me count them. And by golly, he showed 93 times. So Kim and I walked to a stall. I figured he's passed out in the middle of the stall, just dead tired. He comes to the screen, the front of the stall, and his eyes are bright, his ears are pricked, and he's ready to go out again. He thinks I'm coming to get him to take him out again. And that's how sharp he was. He wasn't nervous one bit, but just that focus and had that much endurance. So I thought, you know what, I'm in. I'm doing this, and et cetera, et cetera. So we became Pro 6s within 13 months, which was only we didn't know what we were doing. I didn't know anything about network marketing. Kim and I were just telling our story. about our horses. And there's a lot of horse people here, as I said. And we catapulted up to Pro 6. And guess who's still Pro 6? Well, we are. But whose fault is that? Mine. And that's okay. A lot of life got in the way in the meantime. And I'm talking about serious rescue situations in Texas and hurricanes in Puerto Rico. But we were able to leave the focus off of LifeVantage, go take care of these matters and come back to it. And it hadn't changed because we have a wonderful team and wonderful leadership with Debbie, and they take care of us and we take care of each other, which shows me the heart of LifeVantage. And Kim and I were doing a meeting in Lexington several years ago, and we were talking about the six different factors of having a prosperous business, et cetera. And it's the company, it's the product, all the six things that we know. And we're driving back to the hotel, and Kim said there's 7. I said, 7 what? She said there are 7 things to make it a successful company. And I said, well, what's the 7th then? And she says it's the culture. And a lot of people talk about that nowadays, and not that she invented that, but it really is. It's a wonderful culture. If you stick around very long, you're going to get to see it. You're going to get to be on both the receiving and the giving end of that, of a 3-way call, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't find that elsewhere. I'm an old dog. I'm 71 years old, and I've been around. I've been on Wall Street and worked for a brokerage firm, and actually sold women's wholesale clothing for a while, way back, fresh out of college. And I've seen a lot of different things, but you don't see the culture that we have, and it's really fun, and it's really amazing to do that. So, real quick, I drive into a Monday morning meeting almost every week at 7 a.m. and I see these people driving in a big hurry to get to work. And so about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I slowed it down and I said, I'm not going to run with them. I'm going to drive the speed limit. And I tell you what, you want to make some people angry during rush hour, drive the speed limit and see what happens. But I'm thinking to myself all along, all these people are frantic to get to work. And they're just going through all these gyrations to a job that they hate. So why don't I should have set up a toll booth out there and charged them to tell them about this business. But there are so many people out there that need this. They don't know it, but it's a wonderful opportunity. And like I said, Kim and I are in the process of putting together a 501c3 for something that we cherish, an idea that we cherish, our horses and other people's horses, to give them a place and a job, not just a place, but a job to contribute back to society. And horses love jobs. They need something to do. They're kind of like children. They get in trouble if they don't have a job. So anyway, I'm honored to be here, and I want to reflect on a couple of quick things that Skip said at the meeting in Orlando that stuck with me. He said that you don't have any idea who you don't know. I love that. And he also said that Nerf 2 is the most important supplement that is not a supplement. And I thought, boy, how good is that? And the other thing that really stuck too is he talked about wasting too much time on 1 or 2 particular people. And he said, I'm not going to spend 100 minutes talking to one person when I can spend 1 minute talking to 100. And I heard along the way some leaders say that say less to more people. And I borrow that regularly because that's wonderful. And it says a lot to me that I don't need to know too much. And the purpose of the ITT thing is to move it along quickly, but don't be the total source of the information, so that the people that I'm talking to don't feel like they have to be, because 99 times out of 100 people I'm talking to are not in the horse business. And I need to introduce them to somebody that can relate to them a lot more directly than they can to what I'm talking about, oxidative stress reduction in a thoroughbred horse. That just doesn't jive with most folks. So anyway, I'm honored to be here, and Debbie, thank you for having me, and thank you for the last 8. It's 8 years, Debbie, not 7.
Is it?
I hate to say that, but
We're
anyway,
having fun.
it's been a heck of a lot of fun. I wouldn't have missed it for the world, and met so many wonderful people in this company that and corporate too. Gosh, what can you say about corporate? So anyway, that's it for me, y'all. This old cowboy's tired too, but thanks for having me.
Oh, well, I so appreciate. I mean, I do have a glimpse of an idea of what you do, and I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore. But and you have how many? 31 of them. So my hat's off to you. I appreciate you staying up late and sharing the information, and what an impact it's made on not just our lives, but our horses' lives. And we always say, if you got a horse, probably got a couple dogs. So we really do touch a lot of creatures in what we do. And I love your note.
Debbie, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
And I tell you, I talk about dreams. We all talk about dreams and believing. You got to have the belief. And I'll give you a quick example. Several years ago, when that hurricane hit Texas, there were some people in some trouble out there, and a guy that ships horses for us was driving back from Kentucky, and he called Kim on the phone. And I'll never forget. It was a Sunday night. And he said, Kim, he said, we got to get some supplies out to those people in Texas. They're desperate. And she said, when are you going to be home? And he said, I'll be home tonight. He said, can you fill up a big horse trailer with supplies, feed and halters and tubs and all that kind of stuff pretty quickly? And she said, absolutely, we can do that. So within 24 hours, the county that we live in is so wonderful. We filled up 3 big horse trailers, and he had to scramble around, find 2 more drivers. And the next afternoon, which was Tuesday afternoon, then they're leaving for Texas. And Roger says to Kim, he said, oh, by the way, he said, where are we going in Texas? And she said, you know what, Roger, I don't know. She said, but get going. She said, I'll figure it out by the time you get there. And she got the supplies where they needed to be. And that's the way it works. If you believe, and you get to work, it can happen. That was pretty much before Facebook too. There wasn't a lot of Facebook back then. And we also, shortly thereafter, when the hurricane hit Puerto Rico, we got 100,000 pounds of supplies down there. And not just, I'm talking about the community, Marion County, but and it's a little different getting stuff to the islands because of because they're islands. But that's what you can do if you believe. You just put your blinkers on, and you put your head down, and you go. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. You guys are just amazing. Not just what you get done, but your full-time job on the farm and with these horses. And that's what's, like you said, you step back, but it was your choice to follow something that you also love, which is being able to help out whenever you can. And you guys help out always when you can. And it's not what you put together to get it to Puerto Rico and to get the trucks going to Texas during a hurricane when people still don't know where things are, if the roads are going to be clear. You just had a vision and you went and did it. And that's what I love about you two and a lot of people in this business is we have some visions and we have dreams. And unfortunately, there's so many people that have quit dreaming. But you guys are an inspiration to bring these things out to us so others can know that you can do something different too. If you've always wanted to join in and help out, these guys are amazing organizers. Even if you can't do what they can, you can do something and be a part and help in some way, whether it's horses or people. But when I remember you going through that, it was incredible to watch at what was happening and how many, like you say, thousands of pounds of food that went out, and then having to get it there by airplane, and great coordination. Thank you so much for your time and your inspiration. You always lift us up. I appreciate everything, Bonnie. You guys truly do. I can't explain what they do with the horse world, being able to take care of those animals after they've already had their first career. That's the part that I really love. So thank you. And thank you, Kim. I know she's there, even if she's sleeping.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it.